One of the issues we find within some ad accounts that we take over is that there's a lot of budget being applied to spending on re-engaging and selling to their current customer base and remarketing, where our clients had thought that they were actually spending the budget on trying to prospect new customers. I'm joined here with Thom, one of our senior Facebook ad specialists, and we're going to be talking about how you can make sure that your budget is actually going to reach new customers, so that way you can lower your NCAC, your new customer acquisition costs, rather than having your budget spread quite thin on the new customer side and heavily on remarketing. Thom, welcome and thanks for joining.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So this is something that we see quite often in accounts, but we've got a few different ways that we can implement that. Sort of, you're never going to have 100% control in making sure that you are only spending on new customers, but what are some strategies that people can be doing that they can implement now to make sure that they've got the best chance of that?
So probably one of the easiest and quickest ways to do it today for absolutely any ad account is audience integrations with Klaviyo and Shopify. So utilizing your pixel data from what has been set up on Shopify, making sure that you're excluding past customers within the complete extended window. Highest you can go on Meta is 180 days. However, if you have properly linked up your Klaviyo with your sales data on Shopify, you can exclude customers of all time utilizing Klaviyo segments and then getting those segments connected using the Facebook app on Klaviyo and get that connected through to your ad account.
Okay, perfect. So by doing this, you're pretty much telling Facebook, when you're setting up your audience targeting, you are setting this up as an excluded audience.
Yes.
And making sure you're telling them, all right, we'll target these people within whatever your parameters are, but exclude all of our customer base based on your Klaviyo data.
Absolutely. So you can exclude all of your engaged socials up to 365 days, as well as purchase history based on the Klaviyo audience. And essentially what that will ideally do is give you a complete exclusion and get you a completely cold audience. While dynamic audiences are great through Klaviyo integrations, one thing that a lot of people do as well on top of that is a list upload. So downloading your customer list, their first, last name, contact number, and email that they use to make the purchase, and then uploading that as a custom audience into Meta. While that list does not dynamically update with new people purchasing, it actually covers the basis of ones that slip through the cracks through dynamic audience structures.
And so this is a really good way to do this when you're talking about your standard, so I guess the older style of Facebook ads, campaigns. I mean, you'd want to do this on TikTok as well with uploading your negative list when you're running paid campaigns on there. But A+SC campaigns, really known for heavily remarketing, I guess sort of like what we see in Performance Max, because I guess their directive is to get you as cheap conversions as possible, and it is very good at doing that. But how can we make sure that we're excluding these audiences from here? Because we don't have as much control within the campaign setups there.
So when you are setting up your A+SC or Advantage Shopping campaign in Meta, one of the sections has a predefined engaged audience and a predefined existing customer audience. And within these sections, you don't actually edit it within the ads manager itself. It will take you to a separate section within your settings for the ad account, where you can then add in your audiences that you have made for excluding past purchases through Klaviyo integrations, people that have engaged with your social media. So when you are setting up the Advantage Shopping campaign, part of the section with the budget that you allocate, you can set a percentage value of how much you want to allocate to remarketing pre-existing customers. So you can set it to like the industry standard, which is about 20 to 25%, or you can go completely cold and just put in 0. So utilizing that audience structure will allow you to hit a fresher audience using one of the best campaigns for e-commerce sales.
If you do make this change from what you're previously doing, you're probably going to see your ROIs and stuff go down. Right? Like if you're running it without this, it's likely that you aren't, but you are actually attracting new customers as opposed to just spending budget on remarketing, where really you should have dedicated remarketing campaigns to do this job.
Absolutely. So that's when you start to look at things like the custom purchase journey, because we are going after a completely fresh and cold audience that has never kind of had any form of relationship with the brand before. You have to start looking at what story you're telling with your ads, what kind of information are you giving people. Once they do engage, how are you re-engaging them after that? Further down the funnel with your warm and dynamic remarketing, are you providing enough value? Are you providing enough education? Do they see any value in your product at all? And it's through that customer journey that you can start to kind of hone it and grow your online marketing.
Okay. And now how can we know if this is working or not? So I think there's a column or something, like there's a way within the ad platform that once you've been running these, you can then filter it down and go, all right, cool. I know now I'm not spending X on new customers versus repeating, right?
Yeah, so you can get a filter breakdown by what is coming in through new and existing customers. And you can use it for absolutely every metric within your column setup. And that way you can actually see what the breakdown is for new and existing customers.
Okay, perfect. So I guess anyone who's currently spending money, especially in an A+SC campaign, this would be the first place where you want to look, because you might be looking at your A+SC and you'll be seeing, hey, it's got a ROAS of 5 or 10 or something. But then if you break it down with this filter, you might see that, all right, well, actually you've got 15 ROAS or 20 ROAS on existing customers, but for your non-existing, your ROAS is much lower than that. So really it's just a very heavy remarketing campaign and inflating the results on potentially what you think you're getting within a new customer acquisition.
Yeah, it's through kind of excluding previous purchase customers that you can get through a even different type of campaign. It's allowing you to grow your brand to reach newer audiences, to create more lifetime customers. And it's through that you have to start looking at the lifetime value of a customer and what you are willing to pay to secure that.
Perfect. All right, well, we might leave it there, Tom. Thanks for joining today. I think anyone who is currently running Meta ads, it's definitely a spot where you should be paying more attention to, because if you are just spending a lot of money to retarget and to reactivate your current customer list, you're potentially wasting a lot of budget where it should be spent to acquire new customers. Thanks for watching today.